I'm team this, or I'm team that, or I'm team this brand, or I'm this way, right? And we forget that there's multiple ways to do business, hair, techniques, and what that's created, right? Marketing has created like, this is the better way, has now made us so that we're bullying each other. And so that's insane to me because it's like, to me on a conscious level, if you are actively taking the time to bully another person, like one-on-one, go into their DMs and say some stuff, leave some horrible comments. Yeah. Talk crap behind someone's back. That means you are threatened by something they said.
Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I'm a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you love. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. So I'm so excited for today's guest. Today we have Cyd Charisse, one of the co-founders from Destroy The Hairdresser. And hello. I am so excited that you're here. First of all, Destroy The Hairdresser has totally changed my life. And if it wasn't for Cyd, I would not have the business that I have today. So do you want to take a moment just to introduce yourself? And do you want to kind of give like a little bit of your backstory on how Destroy The Hairdresser was created?
Yes. First off, that is a hell of an introduction and a lot of pressure. But for me, it's an honor to be on your podcast because I am so, this whole episode's just going to be us telling each other that we love each other. I'm just so in awe of you, everything you've done from being a student to then becoming a coach and everything that you've done within your own individual brand and creating your own business. As a coach, it's just like, that's why we do this. You know, when you see the people that are embodied in your business, like take off and create their own things and make their own magic, like that's why we're in this. I actually did another interview yesterday and they did not want it to be brief. And I realized how big our story is.
It's so big.
I'll give you the bulletproof version that we say on stage. So, yes, my name is Cyd Charisse. I was named after the dancer. Everybody asks that. And, I actually was telling someone yesterday that I was named after the dancer and she passed away years ago. She was like 86 when she passed away, but they had still the rights to her website, cydcharisse.com. And I bought it last year, which was like a big business win for me personally, because it was not cheap, but I wanted my name and a website. So now I officially own cydcharisse.com, which is so great.
I love that. That's such a great story.
I know. So yes, myself and David Bosher, we are the co-founders of Destroy The Hairdresser. We are a 100% queer-owned company. That is really important to us. And we started our company technically back in 2012. That's when the magic happened between myself and David, where we realized we were going to be business partners and best friends for a long time. But we didn't launch Destroy The Hairdresser till 2016, when we actually created our company. We were sitting in Tampa, Florida, and after being educators working for Big Beauty for years, we realized there was so much pain happening within the salon industry and that there was no support out there. I mean, now we look around, there's support every scroll that we do on social media. And I love that. But at the time, there was nothing. And so being the rebellious, disruptive kids that we were at the time, we were like, absolutely not. We have to do something. And David and I come from a very spiritual background. We've had life coaches and spiritual coaches throughout our whole entire 20s, which during that time, you normally don't have someone pressing emotional intelligence and critical thinking. And so we really wanted to share that with hairdressers because that was one of the driving forces that being able to create solutions to problems was such a big influence for us in our businesses and our behind the chair businesses. And we created the company. And when it launched in 2016, it was like 2015, 2016. And it has like doubled and tripled since then in size with we've been on tours and on stages, and now we have a team of almost 20, and which you're part of. And, we just have this incredible community of students and listeners and just people in the industry that are engaging. Sometimes people aren't even in our program, but they're still practicing our methods. And people are just really out there trying to do the work and make this industry a more safe, beautiful, less toxic place. So that's exciting.
Which is perfect for today's conversation, which I kind of wanted to talk about bullying in the industry.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the things that is so predominant, and especially when it comes to like these bigger like beauty brands, I feel like a lot of them utilize their resources to just really kind of influence and bully smaller companies and smaller influencers and people inside of our industry.
Yeah.
You and I recently just experienced kind of a little bit of a bullying experience from somebody well-known in the industry. And I kind of wanted to chat about that.
Which we can't talk about
legally.
We can talk about, but we can like dabble.
But we experienced that where it was a situation where there was, some class credentials on my bio, my profile. And instead of this person just reaching out and asking us to take them down, they decided to send us a letter.
Legal action.
Yeah.
Which was solved in
2 seconds.
Yeah, in 2 seconds. I mean, it didn't go further than that. But, the conversation's bigger than that. I love that you mentioned like big beauty brands bullying. And it's so funny because yes, that happens. I think we've created almost like I hate to say clicks, but it's clicks, right? Like I'm team this, or I'm team that, or I'm team this brand, or I'm this way, right? And we forget that there's multiple ways to do business, hair, techniques. And what that's created, right? Marketing has created like, this is the better way, has now made us so that we're bullying each other. And so that's insane to me because it's like, to me on a conscious level, if you are actively taking the time to bully another person, like one-on-one, go into their DMs and say some shitty stuff, leave some horrible comments. Yeah. Talk crap behind someone's back, that means you are threatened by something they said. Something we teach in this program, obviously, like critical thinking, is we ask our students like, well, why do you feel that way? Like, if I'm seeing something that I'm not liking, what is it about that I'm not liking? Like, what is it? And we challenge our students to go deeper. And I look at everything like that. So it's really crazy to me when people don't do that, because I'm like, you wasted so much of your energy being upset about an Instagram post or my views, or my thoughts. It's wild.
And I think that's one of the things that people don't really understand about Destroy the Hairdresser. People assume and they think that they understand what we do on our calls and what we do inside of the coaching experience. And in reality, they have no idea unless they've actually experienced it for themselves. And one of the things that we really focus on, like you've stated in your intro, was really eliminating the toxic practices inside of our industry. And I think opening up your mindset and really focusing on understanding why you feel what you feel and your reactivity, and understanding that there is enough to go around. There are enough clients, there are enough students, there are enough stylists, there are enough to go around. And I think what you said too was that there's a lot of fear and a lot of energy spent on these negative practices that are just a waste of time.
I think, some people that, a lot of people that are listening to your podcast probably also listen to mine, or they know us or follow us and are engaging with us. But for any of you out there that aren't listening, and I hope that there aren't, and I honestly hope you disagree with everything Patricia just said, because I think that gives you an opportunity to transform, right? And when I say disagree with you, Patricia, I meant like, I hope they're like, no, Destroy the Hairdressers are bullies, they're awful. I hope someone's coming in listening to that, because I hope I have an opportunity to transform your opinion. But the reality is, we are a disruptive company. The name of our company is disruptive. And just a little backstory, Destroy the Hairdresser, the name came from destroying what it means to be just a hairdresser, to destroy lack consciousness, destroy bad business, destroy low paychecks, destroy what it is, the whole idea of like all of the stereotypes that come with being a hairdresser. And it's great marketing. Let's be real. It gets people's attention. That is good marketing. And a lot of things that we say are disruptive on our Instagram, and they are directed to an industry as a whole, to an industry problem. But a lot of people get really upset when we say, like, sometimes it's just raise your prices. And they're like, not everyone can raise it. And they get really upset. And the reality is it's okay if you don't agree with us. We have never publicly ever gone into another hairdresser's account, another coaching company's account, another business's account, and left negative comments ever. That is not our MO. That is not conscious of us. We teach your activity. You'll never see us in there talking poorly in someone else's comments. Yet everyone comes into our comments to fight. And it's really disheartening. We actually recently turned the comments off because we couldn't control the arguments that were happening with each other. And they weren't even about what we posted anymore. It was just people coming to our account to fight. And we really were like, this can't happen anymore. Like, this is not okay, because this isn't what we're about.
Are you a salon owner who feels overwhelmed taking on all of the tasks in your business alone? Are you somebody who knows that you can implement better systems, be more organized, and earn more revenue, but you just have no idea where to start? Then the Collective is for you. The Elevated Salon Owner Collective is Opulent Beauty Pro's newest program to help you automate your salon, implement solid systems, transform your salon culture, and take charge of your online presence and regain freedom inside of your business. We have gotten such amazing feedback from our students in the Collective. Our students are saying that the Collective has everything a salon needs to stay organized, streamlined, and create powerful content for the salon and the team. They are loving that everything is done for you. You just have to make it your own. We are opening enrollment next month. To join the Collective, visit opulentbeautypro.com/join the Collective. And I think that was a conscious and responsible solution for the issue. And I think a lot of these big beauty brands too, they allow these negative comments and these things to happen inside of.
Yeah.
They don't put a hold on it.
We did recently turn the comments back on, but
oh, you did?
Yeah. And the reality is and this is something we teach all of you, like, use your block button, use your restrict button, set the hidden word requirements. It's okay to delete something that's crappy, and crappy comments still come through. And I'm not saying crappy comments with people disagreeing with us. I won't really delete someone that's just wants to say why they disagree with us. Okay. If that makes you feel better, then go for it. But when we've had a lot of like, anti-gay comments, or, really awful, just not nice, harsh, they don't need to be on their comments. And I absolutely will remove and block someone, because if you're that upset by our company, you don't get to see us anymore then.
Yeah.
That simple.
Why do you think people, and what do you think the consciousness is around people who feel the need to leave negative comments and to fight amongst themselves within the comments?
I think there's energy that comes with it, honestly. I think when you are feeling lack or doubt or guilt or imposter syndrome or any sort of pain within yourself, personally or professionally, and something someone else says triggers you, which could be anything. It doesn't even have to be professionally. We live in this world where you don't have to say something or see someone face to face. I think a lot of people forget that there's real people around behind the accounts, right? And it's funny because just because an account has a lot of followers doesn't mean they're a big company. And I think people confuse that. And they think, oh, this company, because of their followers, they're on this level. And the reality is that that's not always the case. And I think it comes down to, I try not to take it super personally, because it's like, I truly believe, Coach Frankie says it all the time, hurt people hurt people. And I think there's this rise of getting energy and fighting, but it's not proactive. It's literally like you're getting a high off of it and then it crashes and then you need to get your high again. And like, it's not doing anything that's productive. Like, I would rather you be like, hey, what you said was really weird. I'm going to send you a voice memo. Like, I need to grasp what you're talking about. I'm not sure I want to really sign up for this to find out the information. Like, if people are willing to have more conversations, like, that would be grand. But a lot of people are just willing to be like, you suck. I don't like what you said. Shut you down. Bye. You're wrong.
So how do you think people can transform, like if somebody finds themselves being one of these things where they feel the need to share negative comments or say negative comments, like how do you begin to transform that and become aware of your behavior and why you're doing it?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, like I said, I ask myself why this makes me feel uncomfortable. I challenge myself to do research, like in anything, in politics, in industry politics, like hairdresser politics, in if someone's talking bad about a product line that I might use, I'm like, well, let's go deep into that. Like what's really happening? What's the truth, right? Because a lot of times people just read the headline or someone posted on Instagram their opinion and then they confuse it with factual. And so I challenge myself to be like, why did this make me feel this way? Let me do my own research on it so that I can make my own educated opinion on it. And then sometimes that educated opinion is like, I still don't agree with this. And I don't really, when I say like, I don't really like these people. I don't really want that in my world. So I'm not going to follow them. Or I don't want to see their content because it doesn't really make me feel good. Or, whatever the reason is. But I always, we all get there. I can't lie and say that I've never wanted to like fight back to some of these comments and defend myself. But why? Like, what is that going to do? It's not really truly going to make me feel better. I'm not really going to make a difference. And it's just going to create more of a spark to fight with this other person. And I think there needs to be more collective conversations. Like, can we see each other's point of view, but also not agree with each other? And can that be okay?
Yeah, I love that. I think going back to like the bigger brands, like I've been bullied by a couple bigger brands, extension companies.
I was going to say the extension companies
they're brutal.
Pretty ruthless. And even we called that out. We recently called it out without naming names because again, that is not our MO.
They're all the same.
But they're all the same. Yeah. And also there's so many hairstylists, like Destroy the Hairdresser is about helping and saving and guiding the lost a little bit. Like how can we help you when you're in this world of wanting to be different and wanting to be unique? And we were getting DMs constantly about all these people that were hurting. Our students were telling their coaches, and there's nothing really we as a company can do about it, but we can support the stylists and educate them on how to take care of themselves. And so we did do that. And just from the post that said, have you ever been bullied by an extension company? Talk to us. We want to hear your stories. We want to guide you, want to offer you advice. Did not call out a single brand. Every brand flipped out. Their teams, their football teams of people came, rushing at us. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Like there can be something wrong with something we're doing in the industry and you not be a bad business, but still need to shift something. Like we talk about commission salons all the time. They have such a bad rap. There's a lot of toxicity that comes out of it, but commission salons are not the problem. Poor leadership is. So our solution as a company is how can we help transform the leaders to create less toxic salon spaces? Because not everybody wants to be an independent.
Yeah. And I think too, it's the same with the people that are leading these companies. It's that same mindset, that same behavior, living in fear,
yes.
Having to.
The big companies do what the toxic leaders do. They go into panic scarcity mode.
When there's enough to go around. And I think too, with these, bigger companies, I think they also utilize this as like a marketing tactic to like make themselves look better. And in reality, it's not going to attract the proactive business that you want. It's just going to be reactive.
Yeah. I think people don't realize that this is a $500 billion industry. Like I need everybody like that's listening to like pause and just wrap their mind around how much money $1 billion is. Like $1 billion is so like could solve so many problems just in this country. 1 billion. Okay. Our industry is a $500 billion industry. So we literally say it's recession proof. It has always broken through. And what's funny is that I feel like we're part of the problem of why clients aren't coming back so soon, because especially after pandemic, we've created this idea of lived in looks as trends and really spaced things out. And then everybody's like, why are my clients? It's like, well, they don't need to come back because we've created a trend around that. But it's a whole different podcast episode.
So what do you think, if this is a $500 billion industry, why do you think there's so much lack consciousness?
I think a lot of people have blinders on and aren't realizing the big picture and are missing opportunities to tap into that bigness. I also think that it takes a lot of guts, and it takes thick skin. I feel like I have very thick skin.
You do. Really thick skin.
It doesn't make anything, and we tell this to our students, being conscious is not being robotic. It doesn't make any one of those comments less painful, but it does make me realize, like, if I put that phone down, it doesn't exist. My company is still thriving. My coaches are still killing it and doing their best and doing their most with their students. We are still thriving financially as a company. Our students are thriving financially because of what they're learning within the company. And when I think about all that silly little comment from one person out of the also billions on Instagram that we potentially have the access to, or even on TikTok, don't matter. It doesn't matter. So it's just like, why waste my energy that I should be giving to my students that need my full capacity on one person that doesn't like me? It's just not worth it.
I think that's one of the things that draws me so much to you is your ability to really handle any situation in a very calm manner. And you do have such a calming presence, and you're so logical about things, and you handle the most difficult situations in the best way I've ever seen in any human being.
Well, that means a lot.
No, seriously. We've had conversations about things that you've gone through with the company, different, just different things that you've shared. And I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to handle that with such calmness and such grace.
Yeah.
What do you think has gotten you to a place, not only just working with your spiritual teachers and all of the practice that you do, but what are some tangible things that have helped you become that calm presence and really be able to handle all of the things that come at you? Because I think that's what attributes to a lot of your success, is this ability to really take on these difficult situations, difficult comments, just the difficult things that, come at you from, big product companies and all of the stories that you've shared. So what are some of the things that have really helped you get to who you are today?
Oh my God. Such a loaded question. I think I truly have this sounds so lame and cliche, but I'm going to say it anyways. I truly have such big desires to change the industry. I wholeheartedly believe in what I teach. And I know anyone that is on a mission to change in history, in anything, it's never easy. And it comes with a lot of pushback. And it takes time. And sometimes people think 10 years is a long time, and it's not. Sometimes it's not enough. Our industry is still practicing, not fully. It's definitely made waves for sure. But a lot of, when you think of the whole industry, that we're still practicing things from 40, 50 years ago that aren't changed, and people are really scared to change. And so we're really threatening those ideas. And again, that comes with, if you have the desire to do that, you have to also have the desire to bring on the pain points too. And I think that's something that's not talked about in business. A lot of people are like, I want to have a business to make money. And it's like, well, are you also prepared to go through all the pain of it? Because it's non-negotiable. It comes with it. And the bigger your business gets, the more pain you're going to experience. And I think for me, I truly believe in energy. I do get upset. despite how you make me. I know I get upset, but I do get upset. But I pick and choose what's worth my energy, because the reality is, like, can I transform it right now? No. Is what I'm experiencing, most of it my fears, made up stories that I'm making in my head, all of this thing? Probably. And is it going to happen and unfold itself the way it's going to unfold? Yeah, probably. And I can either be a part of that unfolding quickly and easily, or I can be a part of it taking a really long time and really hurting and really be painful. And I just refuse to do that. I just have bigger things to do in this world than waste my energy on those little things. So I just, and a lot of, like you said, a lot of big things have happened, you know, and it's just like, what are you gonna do? There's not, it's, you know what I mean? Like, I can be mad about it, or I can do something about it. And I think that's where I'm at. Like, it sucks. Yeah. Like, but I'm still alive.
Yeah. And I think this is a perfect, example of really connecting with your purpose, because when you connect with your purpose, then there's just this power behind what you're doing, and it helps you elevate yourself to make the right choices and to be able to handle the right thing, because you know that you're doing what you're doing for a reason, and it's more than just yourself.
I also think it's an opportunity to learn. Our teachers have always taught us spiritually that, I remember one time I told my teacher, I wanted to be $1 million company. And she said, are you willing to go through everything it takes to become $1 million company? And I remember we actually hit $1 million in revenue as our company, not a big company, as a small business. And I'm really proud to say that. And I think people are really afraid to talk about that. And it just goes to show, like, all the work we're putting into this. And I think I remember my coach, because I have a coach, just like you have a coach. And it's really important for our coaches to have coaches and coaches and coaches. And it just keeps going down. And I remember at the beginning of the year, something pretty major happened that I thought was just going to I thought that I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. This is like the biggest thing I've ever had to deal with. And I remember she said at the time, and she was like, how exciting. And I was like, have you lost your mind? Did you hear what I said? Like, did you hear what I said? And she was like, yeah, but you want to be $1 million company. And I was like, oh my God, I do want to do that. Like, that's a financial goal that we had. And we also have other goals of, like, making, like, opening salons with students and, big goals like that with the podcast. And she was like, yeah, it makes sense. You have to go through this pain in order to have this big thing. And that was just like, oh, okay. It's just part of it. And by the end of the year, we hit those goals that we had set for the year before as a business. And that was so incredible. And I'm so thankful of all of the pain experiences, because they opened my eyes. They made me more aware. I was able to, like, really deep dive into our business and how we wanted to change the inner workings of it. And, I think if those bad things didn't happen, I would have never looked inward. So it was kind of like, what a blessing, right?
What a blessing.
What a blessing. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
People say that, or did I just age myself?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
We'll cut it out.
No.
I think too, when we talk about the difficult things, having a business is so glamorized. Being an entrepreneur is so glamorized on social media. No one really talks about how difficult it is to be a salon owner or a business owner. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's understanding that every single person who has a business, has a salon, experiences those moments of pain. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people feel so alone and isolated. And I think this was one of the most powerful things about, for me anyway, having a coach, was understanding and having somebody to talk to and someone to help me work through those really, really painful moments.
Yeah.
To push me through, because a lot of people just end up giving up, and they end up not pushing forward. They close, or they just decide that entrepreneurship isn't for them, or having a salon isn't for them, when in reality, it's just a part of the process. And it's
I know
normal.
So many salons that have closed, and, like, even before we started this company, I've had multiple people DM me on TikTok saying, I wish I would have found you before I closed my salon, because closing the salon was the only option. And it's not the only option. The option and solution is probably not going to be comfortable that I suggest. And I think that's what pisses people off, because they're like, someone commented the other day, they were like, I'll never be able to make, 6 figures. And in my head, I was like, the majority of our students are hitting either 6 figures in revenue, if not profit, right? So like, it is possible. But when you truly believe that you can't do it, it really takes a lot to get out of it. And I think that's why coaching is so valuable, because you have someone not just in your corner guiding you, but like reminding you of why you're doing what you're doing, and having a place to vent or transform or, go through the pain points with, so you're not alone going through them by yourself.
I also think too, having a coach is really powerful, because it allows a different perspective inside of your business and inside of everything that you do, that you just can't see yourself, because you have that, those blinders on, and you need that extra set of eyes to really open up the possibilities and show you like what is available to you. For that person who said that they'll never make 6 figures because they can't see the opportunity or the possibility. When you work with a coach, the coach is like, yeah, this is absolutely available. You just have to do this, this, and this. And sometimes they never would have thought to do that on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing too. It's like, for anyone listening, I also hear like, I can't afford your program, or I can't afford a coach, right? Outside of our program. And, coaching is a really intense job. I mean, we give every ounce of ourselves to our students. Like, we're talking to them all day via text. We're teaching classes at night. We're constantly engaged with them, holding them accountable, holding the groups accountable. And that's worth financial value right there. And so it's okay for these programs to be pricey, because it's worth the investment down the road. But that being said, I do completely understand that it takes stepping stones to get to a place where you can invest. And there's so much free education out there. And there's so much contradicting education. And also, both avenues can be right and lead to a successful business. So if you're out there and you're looking for education, like we have a podcast, Patricia has a podcast. This is free resources that you can start to use and transform your business on a micro level. And then with the goal of eventually getting a coach to do big things with. So don't minimize the power of free. But I always say, like, pick a restaurant and stay with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, pick a lane and don't get out of it, because when you start to spread yourself out and you're taking bits and information from multiple people and you're feeling confused, you're going to freeze and you're going to get in a place of, I'm stuck and I don't even know which way to go. It's like, okay, this really resonates with me. I really love this information. I'm just going to put my blinders on and do it. And I think when you do that, that's when things start to really change, because they're changing because you're aligned with them versus being confused by multiple information.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I also I think too, something that people don't realize is when you're making an investment in something, and that investment is kind of like a pain point, like, ooh, this hurts to spend this much money every month. It holds you accountable to take full advantage and really to take it seriously. I think that was one of the things for me for coaching, was when I first signed up with with David. I took it very seriously, and I really did the work, because I was like, I'm spending a good chunk on this every month. So if I'm going to spend the money, I need to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do in order to reap the benefits of it. So
absolutely. I think that's the thing. It's like, you will eventually get to your goals with the investments. We call it building your board of people. Build it with your coach, invest in your coach, invest in your account, invest in these people that are going to help make your business limitless. And I think that too, recently we've been learning and in our spiritual studies of how to think with a limitless consciousness, because we always do the thing of like, I just need 5 more clients, or I just need 6 more students, or, I just need to make this much money in the course that I sold, or this, right? And you're putting limits on it, even though the limits might be way exceeding what you're making now. And I think, for us, we've always said, our goal, like, yes, we have financial goals with our account and things like that, but on a conscious level, we're always like, how can we reach more people to help create and transform more businesses? And money is always the result of that. And I think that needs to be the same in our salons. How can I provide a safe and encouraging and educational working environment for staff? How can I attract more hairdressers that want to work here and feel good and create big businesses? And the money is going to be the result of that as a salon. Same thing for hairdressers. How can I really transform people's lives through hair and my art and my craft? Money is going to be the result of that. But if you're constantly focusing on, I need this much money in my chair, I need this much money in my business, I need this much money in that, it actually pushes it away, I think.
I agree. Okay. So to wrap up today, I would love for you to give a couple things of free advice away. One, if somebody is dealing with either being bullied online or the fear of being bullied online, and it's really holding them back from putting themselves out there, what is a piece of advice that you would give them to kind of help push them forward and to work through it?
The first thing I would do would be to delete everyone that does not make you feel good on your business. You do not have to follow everyone. I don't care if you're following 17 people. I don't care if you unfriend your best friend from high school. When you look at your feed, it should be something that makes you feel really good, because you don't want to go into that imposter syndrome lack. It's also okay to mute people. Use the settings that are there to protect creators. You can mute people, so maybe you don't see the content of someone that you do still want to follow and check in on, but you don't want to see their stuff every day. You can restrict people so that it doesn't cause chaos and drama. And I love a good old block button. I think if someone is being disrespectful in your house, which is your page and your business, they can go away. We don't have to be for everyone, and we don't have to be available for everyone. And I think that's part of protecting yourself and letting go of that anxiety of saying, absolutely not. You're not going to treat me this way. You're not going to treat the people that are engaging with me this way. And if you don't like me that much, you can just go. I also suggest not everyone is willing to have conversations. Some people just want to fight. Some people are just angry and they're not looking you in the face and they don't know you and they have no emotional attachment to you. So therefore you might as well be a robot to them. And I think, I would highly give all permission to delete a comment or just move on. If they want to talk to you, then they can talk to you in the DMs or leave a voice memo or whatever that may look like. But I have so many, you can have settings for the hidden words, and I have so many hidden words set. So a lot of hate comments or things like that would normally come up, phrases. If someone says those, their comments don't even show up. Like, it's not even a thing.
I love that. And then somebody who possibly is interested in working with Destroy the Hairdresser, but isn't quite ready to make the leap, what are some things that they can start doing now to kind of work towards like the mindset of DTH until they're ready to sign up for either the virtual campus or coaching?
Yeah, I would absolutely, we have really transformed the whole business into being a conscious school for the business-driven hairdresser. So what that means is that the whole entire company is basically a school. We have different departments. We have school semesters and schedules. If you're in guided, you can either sign up via self-guided or guided, which means it's basically like being in college. You can either show up for class or do it yourself online. And that's kind of what it is. But showing up is showing up on the phone with your coach. And what's awesome about this is you get to pick and choose how and what you learn and how you're going to implement that in your business. We put out so much free stuff. There's so much conscious education on our Instagram, on our TikTok. I say listen to the podcast. If you're following us, Destroy the Hairdresser, on any social platform, we're always posting free opportunities. So really just connect and look out for those moments and try to create time and space to show up for those free moments, because they're not always recorded or not always available again. And I think that's a great place to get started. And if something resonates with you, start implementing it. And slowly but surely, you'll start to see change. And then when you're in a financial place, again, you have to make effort. Like, I really want to have a coach. One coach, a coach a month is basically essentially the price of a 2-hour color service, minimally. So if you can save that, you have your coaching payment right there.
I love that. It's like 2 color services or highlights. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I always love chatting with you. You're the best. Seriously, I'm just obsessed with you, and I'm
obsessed with you.
And I'm so grateful for every single thing that you and both David have done for me and my business. And
goodness, thank you.
Just my life.
Proud of you.
I'm just so excited to be a part of DTH because I too align with, and I think this is one thing that is, I align with everything that you all are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just great to be a part of the changes you are making in the industry.